Hello and welcome to another episode of Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. So, a lot of games are running thick and fast right now with another match week upon us from this weekend. But before we preview the upcoming matches that are taking place from tomorrow, it's only right that we preview the matches that happened midweek. So, we'll begin with one of the big games that involves Manchester United. So Manchester United versus Arsenal. So great game, end-to-end sort of attacks and goals as well. 5 goals in total. United were victorious thanks to their saviour, which is Cristiano Ronaldo. A great win for United as well as Ralph Rangnick, who is officially the new interim manager of Manchester United, which leaves Michael Carrick without a job now, I think, as he's left the club. So, a lot of fans were quite surprised that he's left the club completely. Maybe expecting him to stay in some sort of coaching capacity or maybe as a sort of ambassador at the club, but that wasn't to be for Michael Carrick, who's done pretty well. He's unbeaten, I guess, in his last 3 games there. So that's just the world of football, I guess. But back to the game itself. Scored the opening goal from 20 yards with De Gea on the floor, which was a bit of a bizarre one as he got stamped on by his teammate Fred. So the goal was actually looked at VAR and it was given as it wasn't a tackle from an opposition player. For me, it was a bit harsh, if I'm honest with you, speaking as a neutral, as the player's injured and the player's clearly not in any shape or form ready to be in action. So I think, in reality, it's probably not the right decision. But I guess if you follow the rule book, unfortunately, that is the correct decision. So harsh, but it's just one of those things. I'm afraid United fans would have to have accepted at the time. But it made no difference for United, who were able to level quite quickly. A great play by Sancho on the wing, who passed it to Fred, and Fred was able to lay it on the plate for Bruno Fernandes, who scored his first goal since September in Manchester United's victory over Newcastle, which was 4-1. So pretty long time for Fernandes to be back on the score sheet. I guess Ronaldo being at the club, taking over free kicks and penalties hasn't helped his tally there, but it is what it is, I guess. But United were able to take the lead with a great finish by Cristiano Ronaldo. Typical striker's goal where he waited for the ball and it was more about the connection rather than blasting it into the net. So great assist by Rashford, who was pretty much quite vocal in terms of the play there, playing on the left and right on occasions, but on this occasion attacked really well on the right-hand side. Arsenal with the equaliser from an Odegaard's right-footed shot, but unfortunately, he was pretty much the villain at the end of the game where he conceded a silly tackle on Fred to give away a penalty. And that led to Cristiano Ronaldo calmly slotting in the finish to secure the 3 points for Manchester United. So overall good game. I think evenly tested. I think both teams are on that sort of same level right now. It actually could have gone either way. I think a draw would have been a fair result, to be honest, but I think Manchester United took advantage of that situation towards the end of the game and were victorious. So another win for Manchester United in the league. The next game, the Merseyside Derby. So if you watched my last episode, I made a prediction of it being 4-0. So I thought maybe that was a bit of a silly one because we've been winning 4-0 quite consecutively in the last few weeks. But I was so confident with this match that I gave that bold prediction, and to be fair, I wasn't that far off. We did concede a goal, otherwise it would have been absolutely spot on. In terms of Liverpool's performance, they were fantastic in the first 35 minutes. Pretty unstoppable, in my opinion. The first goal itself, what a beauty. Nice cutback pass by Robertson, who's slowly getting back to his best, which is fantastic to see. And the pass leads to Henderson controlling the ball and curling it with his left foot right into the bottom corner. Great technique, great goal from Captain Fantastic there. Liverpool scored the second goal with a counter-attack. Great pass by Henderson to kind of split the defense and on through. Salah was on goal, and great goal with his left foot on from the right hand side. Opened his body fantastically and just slotted it top corner. Beautiful goal, well executed. Everton, to be fair, as expected, were very aggressive. And I think that was the only way that they would trouble Liverpool, as they weren't not matching Liverpool in terms of technical play or any other aspect of the game. So they had a sort of 10-minute spell where they were pressing quite aggressively. I think decisions weren't going in their way, so it kind of that temperament was used to play in that way, and actually led to a goal with a great run from Demarai Gray, who was probably the only bright spark for Everton, and he was able to go through on goal and finish through Alisson's legs there. So individually, I feel like he deserved that goal. He was very much the only thing that was positive in that Everton team. They weren't really attacking much. They weren't really troubling the defense in any shape or form. So for him, I guess it was a goal well deserved. Second half, different game, back to normal. And we were back at it. Mistake by Coleman from the halfway line where Salah takes advantage. And at that stage, it becomes a bit much of a sprint, which wasn't really a battle that Salah was going to lose against Coleman. So he did fantastically to hold off that pressure from Coleman, who was trying to drag him down quite a few times. But in the end, he was able to apply a neat finish. Probably not the hardest of shots, of course, but in the end, it's all about accuracy. And he started it nicely into the bottom corner. So fantastic goal for me there. I didn't like the assessment from the pundits that were on Amazon Prime, because they were pretty much in the direction saying that Pickford should have done better with some of the shots there. But at the end of the day, I feel like the finishing was so great from Liverpool's strikers that you have to give the credit to attackers more than worry about the goalkeeper's performance, because I've gone on record and say I don't rate Pickford very highly. So these are the kind of things you would exploit with a goalkeeper who's not known for... He's not superior in his shot stopping, let's say that, and obviously his kicking can be quite suspect as well. So we took advantage in that situation, but nevertheless, it doesn't matter. We won 4-1. Great Merseyside victory. Everton fans were leaving after 20 minutes. And to be fair, at that stage when it was 2-0, I was really hoping Liverpool would just hit another gear. But I feel like they kind of took the foot off the pedal. Not to kind of give Everton a chance. I think they were just trying to take their time, as it was quite clear that Everton weren't going to match us in any regard. So great win, obviously bragging rights for Liverpool fans against their local rivals there. So yeah, fantastic win. Another 4 on the scoreline. So who knows? Let's see what the next fixture holds for Liverpool. The next one, Aston Villa versus Mancy. So unfortunately, this was Steven Gerrard's first loss as manager for Villa. But to be honest with you, it wasn't a walk in the park for City. Aston Villa did trouble them quite a few times, especially in the second half. But first half, I think Sterling was probably one of the best players for City during that first half. He beat McGuinn with ease on the left-hand side and was able to provide a cutback pass to Ruben Diaz, who kind of unexpectedly just came to that position just outside the area and smashed it with his left foot. So not a bad finish for centre-back. Great goal to open the scoreline there. And then City's second goal came from a counter-attack where Jesus was attacking from the right-hand side, lofted in a nice through ball to Bernardo Silva, who hit a hard volley and hit the back of the net, smashed it in. So 2 goals for City there. And Villa were able to get a goal that was nicely executed, to be fair. You can tell this was worked out in the training ground. Douglas Luiz finds Watkins literally just before the 6-yard area, and Watkins applied a nice finish with his left foot that pretty much hit the post and in. So a good goal to score, and Villa were full of confidence. They were really trying to get that second goal, and they potentially should have got a penalty, in my opinion, when Konsa was fouled in the middle of the box from a challenge from Ake. It's one of those ones where I have seen it given, so I wouldn't say it's a stonewall penalty, but it could have gone either way. So a lifeline for City, but nevertheless, I do believe City deserved that win. Villa have performed really well since the appointment of Steven Gerrard as manager, and they're competing against one of the top teams here. So massive improvement under Gerrard. So I feel like Villa season will improve going forward. So high hopes for Villa fans for this season. Next fixture, Watford versus Chelsea. So Chelsea, another win on the sheet there. Watford were actually really close to opening the scoreline. We were deflected touch from Aspilicueta. It was a whipped-in cross by a Watford right back there. And great save by Mendy, who probably didn't expect that touch to be going so far to his corner. He did really well to react with that deflected shot there. Chelsea hit the post with Mason Mount, who was quite unlucky not to score there, but he was managed to score with his first goal. Poor marking for Watford, as he was pretty much a free man in the middle of the box there, and applied a great finish. So great start for Chelsea there. Emmanuel Dennis, who is pretty much the man on fire at Watford right now, gets on the score sheet again with a clever finish where he applied a shot through Rudiger's legs and into the bottom of the corner. So good equaliser there. But it was Ziyech, super sub, grabs the winner coming off the bench and gives Chelsea the 3 points. So another solid win for Chelsea. They are conceding goals, but I do feel like they're doing really well. They're showing that sort of championship quality where they're getting wins despite playing really well. And this was one of those games. So nevertheless, important 3 points, and on to the next one for Chelsea. And the final game for match week 14 is Tottenham versus Brentford. So another win for Spurs. And to be fair, they did it in great fashion. They could have actually had a bigger scoreline, in my opinion. Lucas Moura was quite close to scoring the first hour. Great save by Fernandes. Spurs were able to get the opening goal with a nice whipped-in cross from Son on the left-hand side. And it was Davies who got the final touch to open the scoreline. I say final touch because it was a bit of a bizarre one, as when the cross went in, I believe the Brentford defender headed it onto Ben Davies's head, and it basically ricocheted and went into the back of the net. So he'll still claim that goal. He's not going to care about that, as Ben Davies doesn't really get that many. So, I'd do the same as well if I was him. Son and Kane had quite a few chances on goal, but denied by Fernandes, who for me made some really good saves and was certainly kept busy during this game. Højbjerg as well was very close to scoring, but hit the side netting. But in the end, Spurs grabbed the second and the winner of the game. Nice counter attack from Spurs. Reguilon on the left wing, crossing it to Son, who applied the simple finish, a tap-in, which sort of rounded off a good day's work in the office for Spurs. So this actually puts Spurs in sixth position. So only a point behind Arsenal, who are fifth, and only 2 points behind West Ham. So a few weeks ago, their season pretty much looked like a failure, but it's not at this stage. It's pretty much they're still in there if they can still challenge. So it's not end until it's finished, and we're pretty much just a third into our season. So a long way to go. So Spurs heading the right direction, taking the right strides to compete, and they might be challenging for top four. Who knows? Let's see how it goes. But that wraps up my sort of review of match week 14 there. So what I'll do, I'll present my team of the week, as I like to do every week. So let me just load up my graphics for you guys. Here we go. So here we have my team of the week. So I'll start with my goalkeeper. So I've gone for Melia, who for me did a great job for Leeds United, kept a clean sheet, but made a very crucial save where he saved the ball that was creeping past the line, pretty much got it just in time. It was a sneaky shot from Benteke. So for me, that was quite crucial. As if that had gone in, it might have changed the whole perception of that game, and Palace might have been clear winners or at least taking the lead from there on. So that's why I've got him in my team there. There were some honourable mentions, to be fair. Fernandes for Brentford, even though he was in the losing side, made some spectacular saves. De Gea did really well as well. He's been in great form in the last few weeks. So could have been any of those keepers, but I've gone for Meslier for this week. My back four, I've gone for Tariq Lamptey. So great to see him back in action. Provided a great cross for Morpay's spectacular scissor kick, which was the equaliser in their game. So that's why I've got him in my team. Two centre backs were pretty much the goal scorers for their teams. Ruben Diaz, fantastic left footed shot to open the scoreline for City, and Bednarek scoring the opening goal for Southampton, and claiming a good point against Leicester City. So that's why they're in my team there. Robertson, I don't think there's no arguments there. 2 assists, and for me, slowly getting back to his form, best form as well. So great to see. I feel like the rise of Tsimikas has definitely made him up his game, as he's been really good whenever he's come on, and he's been a very reliable option for Liverpool, which is what you want to see in sort of top flight football, because you want players challenging for each other. If players aren't available, you've got players who have just as good quality as any other left back in the league. So healthy competition in the squad is always welcome. So and also it actually brings the best out of a lot of players, and that's what I feel like is the case with Robertson right now. So fantastic week for Robertson again. My midfield, Maddison, fantastic performance from him as well, and scoring the important equaliser for Leicester City. Henderson, captain, fantastic. What can I say? Scored a beautifully left-footed shot and a very dominant performance as well. In this game, you can get carried away as there's so much emotion, so much on the line with the fans, the rivalry. But obviously, he's an experienced player now, so he knows how to keep his cool. But at the same time, really showed his aggression in the right moments. I feel like he just had an all-round great performance. So that's why he's in my team of the week. And Mason Mount scored a goal, provided an assist as well. Could have got a second that hit the post, which was quite unlucky. Definitely a standout performer for me in that Chelsea game. And then the front three, I've gone for Jota. It was quite close. It was between Jota and Son for me. I've gone for Jota simply because of the goal that he scored, which was a clutch moment for me. Fantastic touch and a great left-footed shot that blazed it into the roof of the net. So, yeah, for me, it had to be Jota in the team. And Ronaldo, more pay for me before the United game, as I like to sort of make notes in terms of who I'd like my team of the week, was the striker that I placed originally, as that was probably one of the best goals scored in match week 14. But you can't deny Ronaldo's performance, 2 goals, and secured a very important win for Manchester United. So that's why he's leading the line in this team. And the star of the week, probably every week, if I'm honest with you, Mo Salah, 2 goals again. Simply unstoppable performance from the Egyptian king. Liverpool, give the guy the contract. Give him what he wants. I feel like it's pretty much the proof is in the pudding now. He deserves a new contract. Whatever money he's asking for, give it to him straight away. That's what every Liverpool fan is feeling right now. We can't lose a world-class player like Salah to one of our rivals. So, yeah, get the job done, Liverpool fans. Yeah, that's my team of the week there. So, before I do my preview, I'll announce the FPL manager of the week. So, I had a decent week where I got, let me just check my score. I actually got 63 points, which isn't too bad. But I'll be honest with you, the manager of the week blew everyone away in terms of his performance. And it's a gentleman named Emmanuel Babalola who scored 101 points. Fantastic. Well done, Emmanuel. I don't think I've ever scored more than 100 points in fantasy football. So, yeah, you got special tally there for your match week there. So, well done. Hopefully, you get another one like that in weeks to come. So what we can do, we can share another screen where I can preview the upcoming games for match week 15. So, as you can tell, guys, matches are coming thick and fast. No breaks for anyone, to be honest with you. So, we'll start with the first game, which is West Ham versus Chelsea. So, in terms of West Ham's form, they drew against Brighton. For me, I predicted a 2-0 victory for West Ham. I thought they would have been victorious there. It's not really worked out in the last few weeks. I think since the Liverpool win, they've sort of dipped a little bit, and that kind of evolves around the form of Antonio as well, who hasn't been prolific since. So definitely a talisman of that team, but one victory can certainly change everything, and they're still in fourth position right now. But obviously, this is against Chelsea, who are one of the strong performers so far this season. So with this one, I will give a 2-0 victory to Chelsea for this one. Next game, Newcastle and Burnley. Newcastle have just been in such poor form, which is such a shame, as I've always had respect for Newcastle. Growing up, they were such a great team to watch, like through the Kevin Keegan era, and then they were competing in the Champions League. I believe they were close to in the quarterfinals, and obviously you've got legends like Shearer playing for them. So a well-respected club with a fantastic fan base, a loyal fan base as well, to say the least. It's just a shame in terms of how they're performing so far this season, as it's just not able to notch a point. Will this be the one for them against Burnley at home? Do you know what? I'll give it to them. Maybe that's more of a hopeful prediction rather than an actual prediction, but I'll give a 1-0 to Newcastle there. Next fixture, Wolves versus Liverpool. So an away fixture, but for me, that makes no difference for Liverpool. I think Liverpool will be too strong. Should I do a cheeky 4-0 prediction? I actually don't think it'll be 4-0. I think it'll be 3-0. So I'm going to give 3-0 to Liverpool there. Southampton versus Brighton. So interesting match. Southampton scoring goals but conceding at the same time, whereas Brighton are struggling to score, and that has been their sort of their issue this season, where they're not been prolific in front of goals. So for me, this is 1-1. I feel like it's going to be a draw. Don't see there being too many goals in this game, but we'll see how that match pans out. Watford and Mancy. So Watford, since the win against Manchester United, have really shown a good level of performances. Unlucky not to get much from the Chelsea game. I feel like they showed a great account of themselves against Man City. I know it's a home fixture, but I don't see it being anything other than a Man City win. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Man City there. Leeds United versus Brentford. Brentford unfortunately lost to Spurs in the last match week. Leeds won with a last-minute penalty, so luck was definitely on their side there. I'm going to give another 1-0 victory to Leeds United there. That's my prediction. And then you've got Manchester United versus Crystal Palace. So Manchester United's form has definitely picked up, especially at Old Trafford. Palace have shown a great account of themselves this season, coming from a loss against Leeds United over midweek. I think there'll be a good feel factor with this one, as you've got the interim manager Ralph Ragnick managing his first game. Fans will be uplifted, they'll be excited. So I can see this being a victory for Manchester United. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 win for Manchester United there. Tottenham versus Norwich. So Tottenham were in great form last game against Brentford. It was at home as well. I feel like that's going to be key to their success, is their home form. And I feel like that's where they'll get their wins from. This game, I've not been very impressed with Norwich. I know Norwich got a point against Newcastle the other day, but I feel like they haven't shown much for me to change my opinion about them. As I still feel like it'll be very difficult for them to stay up in the league. So I'm going to go for another 3-0 win for Tottenham there. Now, this is an exciting game. Aston Villa versus Leicester City. So you've got Brendan Rodgers versus Steven Gerrard. Pretty similar in terms of the Rangers and Celtic connection there. So this will be exciting encounter. I'm actually going for a Villa win. I think Villa will nick this one. So I'm going for a 1-0 win there. And the final fixture, Everton versus Arsenal. You'd think a home form would play a part in this, but Everton have been in such poor form. I didn't realize how bad it was until I was analysing the games before the Liverpool and Everton game in terms of how consecutively they've lost and they've not been able to win for a good few weeks now. So it's going to be a difficult one for Everton to get anything out of. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Arsenal there. So that's my prediction there. We'll see how that goes. Let's see how many I get. In my last episode, I got 2 predictions right out of 10. So we'll see how I do this week. So that wraps us for today. So if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate all the support. I have a new show that I've started doing on Instagram, which is called Talk That Talk. So that episode will be taking place on Monday, the 6th of December at 8 p.m. UK time. This is a show for the fans where you can send me a request, come on the show, express your views about what's happened over the weekend or something you'd want to get off your chest or analyze your team's performance. Or if you have any questions for me, feel free to send it through the comment section or even come on the air and do so as well. So that'll be an engaging content for you guys there. But the next live episode will be taking place on Tuesday, 7th of December at 10 p.m. where I will be pretty much reviewing the games in match week 15. So that'll be an exciting one. So yes, thank you again, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Take care, and I hope to see you guys on Monday on my Instagram live or Tuesday for the live episode. Take care.